the reactivation of the sinking fund and honoring of Ghana's obligations to bondholders. 2 days ago, I issued a statement in which I conveyed news of a directive from President Mahama to the Ministry of Finance to take steps to settle maturing coupons of Ghanaian bondholders who suffered drastic haircuts under the domestic debt exchange program. So on Tuesday, 17th February, Monday, 17th February, I beg your pardon, an amount of 6 billion Ghana cedis or so was paid to these bondholders. Now, subsequent to the announcement of this payment and the announcement that the sinking fund has been reactivated, we have had some rebuttals from the NPP, whose officials have claimed that we have been able to do that as a government only because they left some buffers, and that it is not because of any specific intervention from President Mahama. I wish to place on record that this narrative is untrue. For officials of the former government to be able to say that these payments and honoring of these obligations have been the outcome of work that they did, they need to point specifically where those buffers were located. Because in order to be able to pay the money, you need to find it and lodge it somewhere. That is what you call a buffer, pending payment at a given date. Now, what we call the sinking fund, for short, is actually known as the debt service reserve account. That is where money is kept pending the payment of bondholders and other creditors. Now, this debt service reserve account has a CD component and a dollar component. In other words, there are two accounts, one denominated in cedis, the other denominated in dollars. So because it is an account, it is possible to obtain a statement of account which shows you transactions over a certain period. So if the NPP officials are saying that we are able to pay these monies because they left money in the sinking fund, it should reflect when you take a cursory look at the statement of account. I have the statement of account before me. It is a voluminous document which shows all transactions that have occurred in the account over a certain period. Now, if you look at the dollar-denominated debt service reserve account, the records will show that the last time under the NPP, when there was a movement in the account, was 22nd October 2024. That was the last time that any money came in or left that account before the NPP left power. Now, if you check the balance in the account as of 22nd October 2024, it was $64,387. $64,387. We are talking about payments within the range of 6 billion Ghana cedis. And you and I know that $64,000 cannot amount to 6 billion Ghana cedis. Indeed, if you did a rough conversion using an exchange rate of 15 cedis, I'm sure you will get something in the region of about 800,000 Ghana cedis or so, if I'm not mistaken, or a little over 1 million Ghana cedis, if my mathematics is right. Now, on 31st January 2025, and everybody knows that on 31st January 2025, it was the NDC government that was in power, not so. An amount of $96,915,182 was lodged in the account by the finance minister. And it is clear where that money came from. It did not come from anything that the NPP had left in that account. Let me repeat it. The last time that there was any movement in the debt service recovery account, reserve account, I beg your pardon, under the NPP was 22nd October 2024. The balance on that day in the account was $64,387. The next time there was a movement was 31st January 2025, and a transfer of $96,915,182 was made into the account in order to ensure that we are able to meet the obligation that arose on 18 February 2025. That is the payment of maturing coupons to bondholders. Now, if you look at the CD denominated debt service reserve account, you will find also that when the NDC took over on 7 January 2025, the last time that anything had happened in our account before the NPP left was 2nd January 2025. 2nd January 2025. The amount of money in the account on that date, 2nd January 2025, was 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. Bear in mind that we are talking about payments in excess of 6 billion Ghana cedis. In addition to that, another 9 billion Ghana cedis is actually sitting in the fund as we speak to pay for maturing coupons in July and August. If you put it together, that is 15 billion Ghana cedis. Yet the balance when the NPP was sleeping was 155 million Ghana cedis. So how could they possibly say that they were the ones who built the buffer? What kind of buffer is this? If you have obligations amounting to 15 billion Ghana cedis, is the buffer you need for that 155 million Ghana cedis? And if you check the statement of account, which I'm willing to show to you, you will see movements of monies into the account starting from somewhere around 23rd January 2025 by this government. And that is the reason why we were able to honor the obligations that arose from the domestic debt exchange program. As I speak to you, as of yesterday, 17th February 2025, the balance in the account was 9,270,537,727.67 cedis. That is the balance. And this balance is there as a buffer against debt service obligations in July and August this year. So it is clear on the basis of available facts and evidence that the claim by members of the NPP administration, which just left power, that we are able to honor these obligations because of buffers they built, is completely untrue. So I will end here and take any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.